All right, looks like we're live. How we doing, everybody? It is a special live stream, so as this gets going, I'm gonna get all my pages going, send out my notifications, all that fun stuff. But hello, how's everybody doing? There we go. All right, we are working. Everything's working. Music's good. We'll get some people on here. If you're in the chat, say hello. All right, sending it out. It is sent. How are we doing today, everybody? I know I'm doing really well. Today is my 40th birthday. That's right. The big 4-0. Also, for some reason my other camera is not wanting to connect. Let's see if I can get it going here. I did an update on the software, and now it's not wanting to connect. That's kind of weird. Oh well, we just won't have that camera. What's up, Ian? Ian's watching on YouTube, so I've got it on YouTube and on Facebook right now. So it has been quite the day. I spent the morning working with one of my students. He's got a couple rental properties. Oh, looks like Facebook got kicked off, but now it's back maybe. I don't know. So he has a couple rental properties, and I was helping him work on those. And then I came home, washed my truck, took the doors and the top off the truck, and did a little bit of cruising, and then went and played golf. What's up, Ozman? Thank you guys for the birthday wishes. So, had a good round. Austin, why aren't you working? He's never working when I'm live. He's always watching. Shh, don't tell. Of course. Somebody wants to play video games as I go live, and I've been available most of the day. Silly, silly people. Yeah, so now I made myself a really nice dinner. I made a shrimp stir fry in like a sweet and spicy sauce, kind of like an Asian flair on that. And now I'm here. I finished another book, so I was like, you know what? I could work on some projects. I've got a video I need to finish on this right here, this new lens for my new camera that I'm using, which the new camera is the Lumix S9, but this is the Miki, I don't know how you pronounce it, but my family got me this. So my brother and nephew and mom and dad got me this for my birthday. It's a 50mm f1.8 lens. It's amazing. I absolutely love it. Sorry, sending out notifications that I'm live. So, being 40, Katrin! Oh, my brother made Maid-Rites? Homemade Maid-Rites. You look a day over 39. Yeah, you're so sweet. You know the way to a girl's heart. But, yeah, so, like, I was going to do some work when I got home. And even though this is fun stuff, like, I've already been working on this video, I was like, you know what? I want no work today, minus this morning, but that was something I volunteered to do. I wanted to help. What's up? I assume that's Ryan on the I Am Geek. So yes, I am 40 years old today. And, you know, I've gone like back and forth with how I feel about being 40. this is an interesting birthday too, because I've spent a lot of birthdays on the road where I was touring with my band, a lot when I was in Nashville touring with my band. I spent a lot of birthdays like in college on spring break, 'cause my birthday always fell during spring break. So birthdays have always been more of a traveling time for me. And I don't know why I'm having issues. I'm just going to disconnect the Facebook stream. It's not working. All right. Which I only care about YouTube anyway. So birthdays have always been like a traveling time for me. Last year I went back to the Quad Cities, hung out with my best buddies. This past weekend, hung out with some family. So that was really good. But today was very interesting. So today I was all alone. My wife is on location at her job in a different city. So she travels back and forth on the weekends, or I travel back and forth, or whatever. But during the week, she lives in a different town. And, it was kind of interesting of like, it's a really big milestone birthday. How am I going to react to that? How am I going to feel? And really, I think the situation I was in was probably the best situation for me at where I'm at in life right now. I got to really reflect on my 40 years, which I know it sounds funny, but there was like parts of me hate turning 40. I really don't like it. And then other parts of me feel like my credibility has gone up, because I struggled in my last career where I was the youngest guy on the team by far. What up, E? E Money's in the house. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. So yeah, my last career, I really struggled being the youngest, because it was one of those things that people really kind of held against me, and I didn't love it. And it was always like, oh, well, you're not even 40, or you're the youngest guy. So I felt like not necessarily discriminated against, but I did. Like, I felt like I was judged on my age, not on what I could do. So now that I'm 40, I definitely feel like there's a different stigma in the professional world, which is really cool. But then there's part of me that's like, you're over the hill. And I remember when my parents turned 40, and it was like, I was an adult. I wasn't an adult, but I definitely wasn't a kid. He was in like high school or junior high. So being alone today was by choice. I took the day off work. I took yesterday off work too. And I just wanted to do my own thing today. So going and playing golf, I didn't play with anybody else, which was really nice. They told me they were going to pair me up with somebody, but then that group they were late. And then I waited for them, even though I don't like playing with other people that I don't know really, but it's not a big deal. And they get there, and I'm like, yeah, I think I'm supposed to be with you guys. And they're like, you wouldn't want to play with anybody. I'm like, I kind of don't think that's how it works, but yeah, that's cool. I'll go ahead. And when you're playing like by yourself, you play really fast. So I knew I was going to catch up to the groups in front of me, which I did, but also, it was beautiful outside, and it's spring break here in Des Moines, so the course was absolutely packed. And, it's one of the first nice days of the season, so everybody's out. So I did the front 9. I finished 8 over after 9, which I thought was fantastic. And then I did the next 4 holes, and oh, I got another birthday wish. I love all the birthday wishes, too. Thanks to everybody that texted me or messaged me or called or whatever. I appreciate it. So I did the next 4 holes, and in the next 4 holes, it took almost 2 hours, which is asinine. So I was like, you know what? I'm good. And so I just drove back to the clubhouse, handed in the cart key. I felt really good about my round. I played bogey golf on... No, I didn't. I did par... double bogey, bogey. So still technically bogey golf. I was 4 over after 4 on the back 9. And I felt really good because as I've been getting my health better, I've been doing the keto diet again. I've been exercising a lot, and I just felt like I could move a lot better, move faster, move more efficient. And you think golf is like anybody can play golf, but man, that can tear you up still. Sorry, the cat is just driving me crazy. There's Sasha. She wants to make an appearance. Big fat cat. She wants to say hello. So that being said, so I came home, relaxed a little bit, read a book, which is also really interesting. I like to read, but reading normally puts me to sleep. But today, honestly, kind of since my wife has reported to her job in a different city now, I've been reading a lot more. And I don't know why I'm not as sleepy when I read, but I really love it. So I've finished 3 books in the last month. And tomorrow I'm going to go pick up another, probably 2 or 3 books. I think I know one that I'm going to get. Emmett recommended one that I think is going to be really good. And then there's 2 others that I'm kind of looking at. Loving that you're spending more time doing you, especially with all the changes you've gone through recently. Good on you. Man, Emmett, you've been a great inspiration with that too. I really appreciate your advice and your insight. So it's good to have good friends. And that's where I had a lot of people like ask if they wanted to meet up today, or if they wanted me to come visit, or if I wanted to go visit. And I was like, no, I really want to do my own thing. Because even though like touring, I was with a band, it was still kind of my own thing. Like, touring's lonely. If anybody has ever been on the road, even if you have a band with you, it's still lonely. So I really just wanted to take today and kind of reflect and relax, having a good cigar in the course. Which Dr. Seuss book did you read? Actually, it's an interesting question, because if I was going to say what Dr. Seuss book would be a good representation of how I feel today, it's Oh, the Places You Would Go. And I think that's an amazing book. People usually give that when people graduate or whatever. That's a really, really interesting book. And it really reigns true today, where I'm like, man, I've done a lot of really cool things. And there's still a lot of things I really want to do. And I don't even know what that looks like yet. I'm really happy where I'm at, and that's great. Oz said, what book do you read? I read a couple coaching books. One is about how to be a more effective leader. One is on starting a coaching program by a friend, Dan Miller. And Dan is a fantastic writer and keynote speaker and coach and just all those things. So I knew I'd love that book. So I blazed through those really quick. And then I just finished Gary Vee's book, Day Trader Attention. Incredible. I've read, you know what? I need to look and see, because I've probably read most, if not all, his book. Gary Vaynerchuk. Sorry. There we go. Let's see how many books he has. I know he has Crush It. He has Jab, 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 Right Hook. Crushing It. Yep, I've read that one. Oh, here's one I haven't. One Entrepreneurs Take... Wait, no, that's... Let's see what all he's got here. Let's go on his website. If you don't know Gary Vee, y'all need to get in. He also has kids' books. Meet Me in the Middle. That's kind of cool. All right, so Day Trading Attention is his newest one. It's not about day trading at all. It's about... it's his 7th book. So there you go, 7. He has one called 12 and a Half. I haven't read that one. It is a best-selling entrepreneur. Blah, blah, blah. It's about leaders with critical tools, or arming leaders with critical tools. I should probably read that one. Maybe I'll do that one next. But Day Trading Attention is a how to build your brand and sales in the social media world. This 12 and a Half looks really good. Leveraging the emotional ingredients necessary for business success. I didn't know he had that one. I would love to hear, like, I mean, I love his podcast. I love his YouTube channel, Twitch, all of the things. I'm a Gary Vee fanatic. The dude's amazing. I saw him at a conference once. It was really great. I don't think there's many people out there doing it the way he does it. I don't think there's anyone that does it the way he does it, but there's not many people doing it as well as he does it either. But I would love to get a little bit more into like his emotional mentality on that. I know he dives into it quite a bit on his podcast, but yeah, the Ask Gary Vee book, I haven't read that one, but I've watched almost every Ask Gary Vee episode. So if you're looking for a good podcast, I know Ian, you're always looking for a good podcast, Gary Vee. So yeah, The Thank You Economy, and I have read The Thank You Economy and then Crush It. So I've read all but two of his books. There you go. Gary Vee, baby. But I'm always taking recommendations and suggestions for books. So if anybody, like, what's everybody reading right now? Of course, I love Star Wars books a lot, if you can't tell by this super sweet shirt, which this shirt didn't fit me a month and a half ago. Down 30 pounds. Am I a full 30? I am a full 30 as of today. 30 pounds. And I'm celebrating by having a really nice little glass of whiskey. It's pretty watered down because of the ice now, which is great. This is, for anybody that's interested, this is a Whistle Pig. Which year is this one? It's the 12 year. I splurged because it's my birthday. So I got a pretty good price on it. I got it at Hy-Vee for $100 for the bottle. Now, I normally don't spend that much money on whiskey, but it's my birthday. It's my birthday. It's my 40th birthday. What are you doing to lose the weight? I'm doing keto. No carbs, no sugar. Like this has been against my diet, but they say on keto, you can have a certain amount or whatever, but I've been like hardcore no on anything sugar and carbs. So this is extra special treat. I did have a piece of birthday cake this past weekend just because my mom and my wife said I had to. It was fantastic, but it put me in almost a diabetic shock from not having sugar for over a month. So I'm doing the keto diet. And I'm also exercising and just moving. Like, I was getting to the point where I couldn't really even exercise. I was walking, but that wasn't really doing much. And my knees are already bad, and they were just hurting worse. So I just started stretching and doing calisthenics. And then I started doing more body weight movements and body weight workouts. So push-ups, squats without any weights, things like that. Oh, thanks, E. Yes, it is my birthday. I deserve to splurge. I had a really good cigar. I had a Diesel Stubborn Fool. My buddy Ian, not my brother Ian, but my friend Ian sent me a while ago, and that's been in the humidor. And I was going to have a second cigar, but I usually don't start a cigar till like the fourth hole on a golf course. So I start my first one on the fourth hole, and then on the back nine, the fourth hole on the back nine. But since I left after that, I was like, maybe I'll have one tonight. And maybe I still will. I mean, it's only 8:20. I might still go outside. It's still pretty nice out, right? Oh, yeah, it's 66 still. I could sit in the garage, have a garage burr. So, Ryan, the other thing I'm doing is not drinking beer. I know you're not a drinker, so that's an easy one. But for me, like, I really enjoy craft beer, and cutting that out was huge. And also, like, no pop or Coke or soda or whatever you want to call it, depending on where you're from. He's a Southerner, so he's probably going to say Coke or soda. So no pop, really not much carbonation at all, because carbonation builds up gas. What else have I been doing? I think a lot of it's just getting my brain healthy. Needed my brain to get right. So for anybody that's struggling mentally or anything like that, get out and walk, because your brain cannot function. Let me look in the camera and say this, because I'm always looking up here because my screen's up here. Let me look in the camera and say this. Your brain cannot function, and it can't function well or at all or at full capacity if you are not moving your body. And the more you don't move your body, the more you don't want to move your body. So get out and go for a walk. Do some jumping jacks. Here's how I started. I started with doing 15 squats every hour. I'd set an alarm on my phone to go off every hour. And I'd do 15 squats, just body weight squats, no weights. And what that does is that starts to supercharge your body. So throughout the day, if you do that like 10 times, so 10 hours, and you do, what is that, 150 squats in a day, that's like the equivalent of walking 3 miles. And it's quick, but you'll realize like, oh, I am not in good shape once you start doing that. So you start doing that stuff, that'll help you get going. And then you'll notice how much better your brain starts to function. And that's where you start getting out of those negative mindsets and those demeaning thoughts of those self-deprecating or self-destruction thoughts. Everybody has them. It's just people don't like to talk about it. So the more I move, the better my brain works, the better I process things. So if you're suffering with depression or anxiety or anything like that, start moving. And if you say you don't have time, ask yourself when you're in the emergency room or in a hospital bed if you would have had time, if you would have made time to move around. That's a big thing. Make time to move. And exercise your brain. Do some reading. Reading's hard. Like I said, I fall asleep when I read a lot, but I'm getting better at it. And I love audiobooks. I really, really, really love audiobooks. But there is a difference between reading a book and an audiobook. One thing that I also realized when we moved to Des Moines, like I've blamed a lot of things on moving. And that's fine. Transition and change is really hard. It's been hard on me. But one of the things I forgot was I used to go on, I had this really cool deck in Nashville that Nicole and I built. And when I say Nicole and I mean like she was there building it with me. It was really cool. It was 16 by 16. Emmett said your coaching business is going to be a hit for sure. Yeah, I'm ready to get back into that for sure, even more than I was. So it's a 16 by 16 deck, but it wasn't attached to the house. It was like in the middle of the yard. We called it the dock because it kind of looked like a boat dock in the middle of the yard. And then whenever it would rain heavy in Nashville, we had a drainage creek in our backyard, and our yard would flood all the way around the dock. Sometimes I'd go out there and sit during the rain because it was really cool. Anyway, so I used to go out there a couple times a week, especially when it was really nice out, and I'd get a glass of bourbon, I'd light a cigar, and I'd read a book. And, you know, a normal cigar takes around 45 minutes to an hour, depending on how you smoke and what the cigar is and things like that. But what I didn't realize was what that was actually doing. It was the only time in life that I ever slowed down. I'm always doing something. I'm always working in my studio or making a project or doing stuff around the house or working on a vehicle. I can't sit still. I can't do it. But when I did that, you know, I kept my brain occupied. Like, oh, I got my whiskey and I've got my cigar. But my body was finally like catching up of like, hey, you're exercising your brain right now. These are the rewards for you doing this exercise. But also, it put me into a mindset of like almost a sophistication. Like, I know my brother wants this. He wants, like, someday to have a den, like a real old school den, like guys used to have in the 50s. You know, that the really cool, like, leather furniture and many leather bound books, like Ron Burgundy. And I think that's a really cool idea that guys are missing a lot of, that time to just sit in their own head and read and better themselves, have a cigar, have some whiskey, whatever it is. Maybe it's just a glass of water. Maybe it's a Coke. Whatever it is, it's just sitting and being in your own mind. And so I did that a lot in Nashville. And then when I moved here, I never did it again because I don't have a place to just sit and have whiskey and have a cigar unless I go sit in my garage. And I joke about it, and Emmett knows I joke about this, of my garage burrs. I love having garage beers. And I'd sit out there and, like, I'd tinker on shit and have a beer, but that's different because, like, I was working on cars and working on stuff in the garage just to do it. I know my old man does the same thing. He's done it his whole life. That's where I get it from. I love going out in the garage and just messing with stuff. But when I was going out there to just have garage beers, I wasn't going out there to better myself. I was just going out there to, unwind or keep high stress. I don't know what I was doing. But it definitely wasn't what I was doing in Nashville, where I was going outside and reading a book and sitting on my deck, enjoying nature, enjoying the neighborhood, and having my cigar and my whiskey and just bettering myself. Now, I should go look. I've got my little library back here, and some of my books are still, like, packed up. I think the books that are packed up, all of them have been read. But I really admire my wife because that girl can read like 150 to 160 books a year. She could read more if she didn't have to work all the time. But that girl can read. So let me go look and see what I got in the library that hasn't been read. Oh, sorry if I was yelling. I forgot. I've got the wireless mic on, so. Oh, I can turn this camera on as well. There we go. GoPro is on. Okay, let's see. Okay, there's a lot of magazines in here. No, Reddit. Oh, here's a really good book. Let me get some good books that some friends have written. Where's The Wisdom of Walt? I think those are packed up. So my good friend Jeff Barnes wrote The Wisdom of Walt. He actually wrote 2 of them. One's based on Disney World, one's based on Disneyland. But then this book, Dreamers Do, Dr. Gene Anno. And Gene is a good friend of mine as well. Incredible writer. Oh, you know what? I haven't finished this one by Scott Harvey. But I've finished this one. So my buddy Ethan sent me this. Be Our Guest. Let me just grab a couple of these so you guys can look. This book... Oh, I didn't finish that one. Let's see, what else I got? Master Your Emotions. That was a good one. The Power of Positive Thinking. That's an incredible book. So if anybody needs a book recommendation, Dune. Dune was the most boring book I've ever read. I'm sorry if anybody really loves that book. That was just painful. What is this? The Great Game of Business. Oh, that's a good one too. All right, Emmett might want some of these, so I might need to take some of these to work. What is this? Oh, this is a good one too. 5 Weeks of Self-Confidence. You know what? I had some really good books in here that I might have some friends that are watching that might want to. Sorry if you missed me. Okay. Still got a couple people watching, so that's cool. All right, I got a big old stack of books right here. Okay, number 1. This book right here. So Jin is he a psychologist? Yeah, he's a psychologist. Super great guy, massive Disney nerd. Love the guy. Great book. Really good. Dreamers Do. It's on Amazon. That's where I got it. These are really great. My nephew, Austin, bought me these. These are the Horus Heresy line of books from Warhammer. So this is Horus Rising and False Gods. These were fantastically good. That's if you're a nerd. These are nerd books. These aren't like self-help things. You'll notice like a trend. I like sci-fi and like things like that, and self-help, like business. And business, yeah. Oh, my buddy is asking if I'm online to play games, another buddy, and I'm not because I'm doing this live. But y'all need to like put some stuff in the chats, make some comments. Okay, The Great Game of Business by Jack Stack. What a great name for an author, Jack Stack. The new introduction and interactive get in the game guide. The only sensible way to run a company. This is really good. And Jack Stack with Bo Burlingham. Really, really good book. This is a revised edition as well. So, some good stuff in the back here that I really like. Scoreboard design tools. Playing the game. Emmett, this is a playing the game kind of book. I'll bring this into work tomorrow. The reason that like I haven't lent these out is because these books really mean a lot to me. So if I do lend these out, I want them back. I need to finish this one from Scott. I've met Scott many times at different events. Silence Kills. Communication tactics to speak with confidence and build your influence. So I might read this one. I've been putting that one off. Scott's a hostage negotiator, or was a hostage negotiator, and he's a business coach now. 5 Weeks of Self-Confidence. Really great book. A guide to confronting your inner critic and controlling your relationship with your thoughts. I might need to read that one again. I think that will reinforce some things. Yeah, I think I might read that one again. I might not have to go to another book. The Power of Positive Thinking. This book, folks. This one. This is an international bestseller. More than 5 million copies sold. So, here's some of the key points in this book. Expect the best and get it. Believe in yourself and everything you do. Develop the power to reach your goals. Break the worry habit and achieve a relaxed life. Improve your personal and professional relationships. Assume control over your circumstances. That's probably the biggest one. And be kind to yourself. This book right here is a life-changing book. Everybody should read this book. Absolutely everybody. Entrepreneur, I need to jump back into this one. Obviously, I didn't get very far because it was boring. Here's my thing. I don't need a step-by-step guide to be creative. It's a step-by-step guide for creatives to transform your passion into a profitable business. I bought this book knowing that I probably wouldn't like it because I feel like when it comes to being creative and making a business, I'm probably better than a lot. It was boring. And if you look like you're selling to creatives and this is how your book looks, like, one, that's a lot of words for a creative. So I did not get very far in this one. I might try to finish it. I don't know. Sometimes you just have to just realize, like, I just don't like this book. Now this one, this is one of my favorites as well. And I've got other favorites that are packed up. I think I like actively pulled out books that I hadn't quite finished or that really meant a lot to me. Although The Wisdom of Walt, let me actually pull those up. Jeff was one that I read both of his books before I met him. And then I met him and we became really good friends. And if you've watched the new Disney documentary on the History Channel, which is now playing on Disney Plus, Jeff is in that. All right, Jeffrey Barnes. Let me, let's do the screen thing here. There we go. So these are the books right here. There's Jeff. It's my buddy Jeff. Oh, of course I accept. So Jeff has 2 books, and I know he's working on another one. I think he's probably working on a couple. But he's also a keynote speaker, and he's a Disney expert. So if you ever go to, especially Disneyland, because he lives in California, if you ever go to Disneyland, look up Jeff and have Jeff give you a tour. I haven't had Jeff give me a tour of Disneyland, but yeah. He also has some courses that you can take with him about leadership and different things. He's got a really interesting story. Really interesting story. He's gone through some stuff in life. Really cool guy. So here you go. Oh, here's his books. The Wisdom of Walt. And then that one's about Disneyland. And then Beyond the Wisdom of Walt is about Disney World. But he's like taking things from there, and yeah, really, really wonderful stuff. So Jeff, if you watch this later, you're amazing. And if you're a fan of the Savannah Bananas, and Jesse, the guy who created the Savannah Bananas, Jeff wrote I think he wrote the foreword in Jesse's book, Fan First. I haven't read that book. You know what? That's what I need to do. I need to read Jesse's book. Because he's a massive fan. Jesse Cole. All right, I'm going to go pick up this book tomorrow. Fan First. And I believe Jeff wrote the foreword of it. Last I heard that. But anyways, yeah, some good friends, some good authors. But then this book right here by Theodore Kinney is Be Our Guest, Perfecting the Art of Customer Service, the Disney Way, the Disney Institute. Great book. My best friend Ethan sent it to me. If you know anything about me and how I do relationships and stuff, you'll understand, like, obviously I'm a Disney fanatic, but I take the Disney method in how I treat people and how I do things. Ethan! There he is. There's my best friend right there. Yeah, so Ethan sent me this book. And I love it. I've read it twice. And then also, as far as like Disney book, I've read a lot of Disney books. Lee Cockrell has several books that are really great. Lee was I think he was the head of resorts or something for Disney. But he's a big life coach and all those fun things. All right, so for tomorrow at work, I'm going to bring Emmett. Emmett, you've probably read this one, The Power of Positive Thinking. If not, I mean, I'm going to bring it anyways, so I'm sure one of the kids will really need it. Emmett, you would do really well with this one. And you know what? I don't really want to give this. I tell you what, if anyone, Jack and Caroline. Well, thanks, Jack and Caroline. I miss you guys. I need to come up and visit. I miss the kids. Anyways, I don't want to give this to anyone, but if anybody's interested in this book, like any of my really close friends, let me know. I'll buy it for you. Even though Jen is a good friend of mine, I will buy this. And that's how you support your friends. You buy their shit. Buy their shit. Great book, though. Really, really good. He's been through some stuff, too, man. But, you know, he's one of those guys that, like, goes to Disneyland almost every day. Such a great book. Emmett would love to read it again. Okay, so I'm going to bring these two into work. I'm going to try to find the rest of my books. I don't know where they're at. They're somewhere in this house. And Nicole took a bunch of books, but she mostly took hers. But then I am going to... Here's my thing. Like, I don't think I'm going to read this. I'm going to try. I'm going to do a whole nother chapter. I don't think it's going to work out. I'm going to reread this one because I think I'm in a good place right now, but I think it would really help me. And then I need to finish this one, Silence Kills. Communication Tactics. Plus, I think I told Scott I had already read it, and I lied to him, so that's not a good communication tactic. Sorry, responding to a message. Okay, sorry. How about a weekend trip to Chicago and maybe hit a steakhouse? Oh, that sounds like a really great idea. You know what? I want to go to Shedd Aquarium again. I haven't been there in decades. Decades. And I have a former student that's working there. I don't know what her exact title is, but she's working there. She was one of my School of Rock kids. And I'd also love to do the Science and Industry Museum. I think that'd be pretty fun. Man, I gotta go. Ethan, if you're still watching, do you want to jump on and play some games? And if you're not watching, I'll probably still jump on and text you back in a minute. I think I'm gonna go buy this Fan First book tomorrow. Or should I do it as an audiobook? I love audiobooks. My brother... No, Austin, White Castle's terrible. I don't know how many times I have to tell you. White Castle's horrible. You want a good burger? You go to In-N-Out Burger. Everybody knows In-N-Out Burger's the best burger for fast food burgers. Come on. Not even close. White Castle's terrible. Anyways, yeah, my brother and my nephew for Christmas got me like 4 months of Audible. I love it. How about a weekend trip to Houston or Walt Disney World or Disneyland or some other with some geeky guys? Hey, Ryan, I'm going to Disney World the 9th. I'll be there the early morning on the 9th. So I'll be at the parks by like, well, my flight lands, it's supposed to land at like 9:45. So I'll be in the parks by noon. So the 9th through 9th, 10th, 11th, I'll be at the parks. Some people just love White Castle. I don't get it. I would love to go to Houston again, too. Maybe Nicole and I need to come down and see another football game. Maybe a baseball game. Yeah, and also there's also Crystal, which is like the southern White Castle, which is equally as terrible. Ethan said he'll play some games eventually. He's probably trying to put the kids down. Now I'm kind of inspired to go look through my books. I have so many boxes and they're in like so many places. No, May, Ryan. I'll be there in May. That's why when I go, I'm doing the special edition lightsaber, which might just be like Ryan had thought that it could just be parts that they found left over from old builds for Savi's workshop, but it might not be. Might not be. And even if it is, if I can mix and match those. Because my brother's still watching, because I know he is, because he just said about Chicago. There's one lightsaber. There's two lightsabers. These are two Savi's Workshop lightsabers. You know what? This camera's so freaking good. Look at how easy it focuses on these. It's like, oh, hey. This was my first one ever. No, sorry, wrong hand. I was looking at the camera because of the mirror. I say that, oh, there we go. It's trying to focus on my face because that's how I have it set. Anyways, this is my first lightsaber I built. These are heavy, by the way. This is like a workout. Ryan, you need a good workout? Lifting lightsabers. Curl. There you go. So this is my first one. It's the power and whatever. And then this is my second one. It's the Guardian, whatever. I forget what all the factions are. But these are it! La 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 la! And I've got plenty of other lightsabers over there. I've got a Dooku Legacy Blade, but it's the Dooku Jedi Blade, even though I am a Sith through and through. I have Dooku's Jedi Blade. I might as well grab it since we're talking Star Wars, and it's my 40th birthday, and it makes me so happy. Let me put this back. Hold on. Let me put these lightsabers back, because my brother doesn't have any lightsabers, nonezo, because he has not been there to do it, and he's not ridden Flights of Passage yet, even though he was there when it was open. What does that tell you, folks? Let me grab the Dooku blade, because it's awesome. And then I've got a NeoPixel blade that my buddy Moose got me for his wedding. My brother said he hates you. Good. There's the Dooku Legacy Blade. This thing's so great. If you don't love Dooku, who are you? Such a great blade, super heavy. That hook could tear someone up. Like, you could hurt somebody with that. That old boy is strong. What a great hilt. And this is his Jedi blade, not his Sith blade. Jedi. Probably. No, it won't be the only Jedi blade I'll have. Let's be real here, folks. Let's be real. This will not be the only Jedi blade I have. But I'm going to do another build. And I'm taking my friend Meg. I know Meg is not watching because she's working at the Magic Kingdom right now. I probably shouldn't say that. Sorry, Meg. Maybe I can. I don't know. But she works for the mouse. She works for the mouse, and she is going to go with me when I make that blade because she hasn't done it yet either. And she works for the mouse because it's expensive. I get it. I understand. Meg and Robin are the ones that made my case for me. My Pelican case. If you haven't seen that, just ask me. I'll send you a picture. It's badass. Let me see if this book, this fan first book, is available at Books A Million near me. And I can go get it. In the morning I have to go help Josue with his house. In the morning he's got an inspection and... Okay. Let's see if they've got it in stock here in town. Out of stock? I can order it. What other Jedi lightsabers would I get? Good question. I mean, I'd love to have Yoda's and Luke and Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, but Cal Kestis. Cal Kestis would be number one. Absolutely. There's times where I'm like, I should have got Cal Kestis instead of Dooku, but Dooku was a limited edition, and I know, like, they're all technically limited edition. I don't know, but Dooku, they weren't going to do very many, or not as many. I feel like every time I want a book, they don't have it in stock. And I'm very impatient. The other thing I want to know is, does Jesse read his own book? I really like... I like when authors read their book. Let me look. I'm sure there's an audio version. Yep. Who's reading it, though? Oh, he's reading it. He's narrating it. Yo, Emmett, you definitely need Mace Windu's lightsaber. He wants that purple blade, and, I mean, I've got several of my other lightsabers tuned to purple right now, I think. There. I do have Darth Vader's blade, but it's a cheaper one, so it's okay. All right, so let's start with the NeoPixel. This is the one that I got from my buddy Moose for his wedding. These are expensive. This one's, I've got it set to like a pink. Now here's what's cool with this one. You can twist it and turn it off and on. There we go. I've got the sound off on this one right now. This is a really, really nice blade. It even has, you can't see it, but the logo on the button here is the Empire. And it says on the back, Derek Groomsman, Mark and Michelle's wedding, 6/20/25. This one also has an app. Is it off? It has a phone app that you can connect it to.
The Dark Lord Order.
Oh, there, I just changed it. Dark Lord Order. It's hard to see, but it's like red. There, you can see it on my skin. It's like a blinking red.
The Master.
There's green. Okay, now it's off. There we go. All right, and then these, I don't even think these are charged. That one's definitely not charged, but that one's kind of, this is a cheapy Amazon one, but it is pretty cool. And it's heavy. It's, you know, pretty cool. And then another cheapy Amazon. This one's purple. You can always tell, like, that's how you can tell the color, because on the screen it's too bright. This one's a really cool one. Then you can change it by just pushing the button. This was also an Amazon special. And I have the volume off on this so you can do like battle blades. Oh, there we go. There's the audio. You can program these too. There we go. All right. So we talked a lot of different things going on. Should I do the audio book or should I do the hardcover book? Or like the actual book? All right, well, y'all, I am probably going to go play a couple video games before I go to bed because I got to do stuff in the morning. But, Oh, here we go. Sorry, I'm looking at books now. Anyways, I'm going to dip out. I'm going to go play some games, then go to bed because I got stuff to do tomorrow in the morning and then go to work. Gotta work. But thanks for everybody hanging out, especially on my birthday. This is really cool. It's been a good day. It's been a really good day. I'm really happy. So, other than that, until next time, y'all have a good one. And if you have any questions or whatever, let me know. But also, take care of yourself. If that's my number one piece of advice or the thing you can take away from this stream on my 40th birthday is take care of yourself. Mentally, physically, emotionally, whatever you got to do, take care of yourself. And if you can't, ask somebody for help. People are here for you. But I'm doing great. Had a great day. Great birthday. My cup is full. Well, except this one. This cup is empty. But, man, we'll see y'all later. And Emmett, I'll see you tomorrow. Bring these books in for you.